From the Pep Radio newsroom, these are the stories we are following at this hour. LGBTQ Nation is reporting that a teacher in the UK has been banned from the profession indefinitely for outing a transgender student on social media. According to the Daily Mail, in May 2023, a whistleblower alerted the unnamed Manchester school where 54-year-old Camilla Hannon had been teaching since 2001 that Hannon had posted offensive and anti-trans sentiments on X, then known as Twitter. In one of her posts, Hannon even outed a transgender student by name. She went on to say, "Where I teach, we have a gender identity policy." Hannon wrote in one post alongside an eye roll emoji. "It's a load of nonsensical rubbish, as you'd imagine." In another post, Hannon wrote that she taught a student who had changed their pronouns, going so far as to include the student's name in her post. "I worry about what the next steps will be," she wrote. In two other posts, she seemed to suggest a link between autism and being transgender, writing that her autistic students are plastered with trans flags and badges without exception. Studies that have shown that transgender and non-binary people are more likely to be autistic than cisgender people have been misused to fuel the anti-trans ableist narrative that there is something wrong with transgender and non-binary people and that their gender identity is the result of mental illness. Some trans and non-binary people on the spectrum suggest that the real connection is that autistic people are less likely to feel a need to conform to social pressures around gender. LGBTQ Nation is also reporting that a Georgia man convicted of murdering a transgender woman is on the run after jumping bail during his trial. Devontae Four, age 26, was convicted along with accomplice Jaquan Brooks, age 25, on October 4th of malice murder, 2 counts of felony murder, aggravated assault, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony for the June 2021 murder of 25-year-old Skylar Gilmore. According to a press release from the Dekalb County District Attorney's Office, DeKalb County police officers found Gilmore unresponsive with a gunshot wound to the torso in her Stone Mountain, Georgia apartment in the early morning hours of June 4th, 2021, after receiving a 911 call from a female friend reporting that the 25-year-old had been shot. Four was arrested in November 2022, but was released on bond this past February over the objections of state prosecutors. At some point during the trial, Four failed to return to court and is now considered a fugitive. Brooks was taken into custody following the October guilty verdict. According to prosecutors, Four has ties to California, and authorities are asking anyone with information about his whereabouts to contact the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office Fugitive Unit at area code 404-298-8132, but warned not to approach him as Four is considered dangerous. And we have this reminder about the election in Pennsylvania. With a deadline to request a mail-in ballot, 5 p.m. today, election officials recommend acting as soon as possible. Voters can request a ballot at their county elections office or online through the Department of State. Time is running out for Pennsylvanians to request a mail ballot and submit it to vote in the November 5th general election. With a deadline to request a ballot at 5 p.m. today, elections officials recommend acting as quickly as possible. Voters can request a ballot at their county elections office or online, again through the Department of State. To get notifications when the ballot is sent out and then accepted on return, include an email address when requesting a mail-in ballot. Mail voters need to ensure that their ballots are in the county's possession by 8 p.m. on Election Day, November 5th. This can be done by mailing it or delivering it in person to the county elections office. The U.S. Postal Service has strongly recommended that ballots be mailed out by today at the latest, or taken directly to the County Board of Elections in your county. Mail ballots can also be tracked using an online form that requires a voter's first name, last name, date of birth, and county. That's the news at this hour. Now back to more music on PEP Radio.